Hi there, pilots. A lot of questions about the new FAA Part 117 uh, rules for the 121 carriers, which is specifically designed for improvements on pilots' rest. Um, so just kind of wanted to go over a few basic, fundamental um, tips on the maximum flight duty period uh, and the maximum flight period. Um, Table A and Table B, a lot of questions about the two. The difference between the two is Table A is specifically for flight time limits, how many hours in a specific day that you can fly. Table B, well, real quick, here's Table A, and then we'll get into a little bit here shortly. And this is Table B, specifically designed for flight duty period. So how many hours of flight duty, or how many hours you can be basically clocked in, so to speak, for um, the particular day. So I've got a few examples of trips here which we can work through together. So this one is a show time of 5:23 in the morning, and so um, that's going to play a factor in both table A and B. So we'll come back to here and we'll look at the table A first. So again, the show time was 5:23 in the morning a.m. So we want to come over here and we want to see which hour category we fall into. So 5:23 will fall into this category. So we'll scroll all the way over. So the maximum flight time hours that you are allowed to do for this day in this example is 9 hours. Okay, so that's table A. So right now we know with our show time we're limited to 9 hours. So now we can go over to the flight maximum flight duty period table, which again is table B, and we want to find our category. Again, it was a 5:23 show, and so we're going to be in this line. So now we want to know how many hours we can actually work, and by doing that, we have to figure out how many legs we have. So today we've got DC to Philly, Philly to Indianapolis, Indianapolis back to Philly, and then to Rochester. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've got 4 legs, okay? And again, our show time is at 5:23. So again, we fall into this category. We've got 4 legs. We'll just scroll over, and here it is, 12 hours. So we are limited to 12 hours of flight duty period. Okay, so that's example number 1. Let's move on to example number 2. We've got a show time of 6:12. Okay, so we'll come back to table A and we'll figure out 6:12. Okay, so again, we're going to fall into this category. We'll scroll over. 9 hours is our maximum flight time that we can do in that particular day. And then we're going to scroll over to table B, but before we want to make sure we've counted how many legs that we have. 6:12 show. We only have a 2-day um, or a 2-trip day. Pretty easy day. So we're going to come over here. 6:12 will fall into this category. We've got 2 legs. Our flight duty period, because of that, is increased by an hour. So in this particular day, we can actually have a flight duty period time frame of 13 hours. Okay, and then the last example, we've got an 11:29 a.m. show. Okay, so we'll come back to table A. And 11:29, still, I mean, again, in this area, you're going to be 9 hours. It looks like the only time that you're restricted to 8 hours is if you're starting very, very early in the morning, as you can see here, or you're going to be working late into the evening. you're restricted one less hour. Okay, so again, our 11:29 show time, we fall into this category. We're allowed to fly 9 hours that day. And segment or table B, let's figure out how many flight duty hours that we can do. And that's, again, we'll find that by how many legs we fly today. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we've got quite the busy day today. 6 legs. So 11:29, we fall into this category. We have 6 legs, so we'll scroll all the way over to 6. And it looks like we are restricted to 12 hours. So again, table B looks like it works the same way as table A. The earlier you start, the less hours you are allowed to work. And as you get into the later evening of flying, it looks like you're more restricted with a lower amount of hours that you can work. And there's additional questions. Can your flight duty period be extended? The answer is yes. I want to read you something real quick. Without your approval, the FAA has allowed the companies to have the right to extend your flight duty period up to 30 minutes. Now that does not require an approval from the crew. That is again set forth by the FAA to allow the companies to extend you 30 minutes. And let's see. Other question would be, can the flight duty period be extended more than that 30 minutes? Again, another gray area, another loophole in this whole regulation. The answer is yes. However, differently from the 30-minute rule, companies don't need our approval as crew members, but to extend it more than 30 minutes, they need our approval, and you're allowed to be extended 2 additional hours. Okay, so the question is, can a pilot's flight duty period be extended to exceed 30 minutes? The answer is yes. The flight duty period can be extended up to 2 hours. Now here's the kick. The company and the pilot in control both have to agree on the circumstances, because anything, again, above that 30 minutes, you need crew approval, specifically pilot in command. And after that, there's a requirement that you have to fill out an irregularity report, and that shouldn't take too long. Just a couple questions. Hopefully this helped you out. Again, these are the absolute basic, fundamental tips of this FAR Part 117. This is such a huge regulation chapter now that's been added to the 121 carrier rules. So what I'll do is I may continue to make a few videos and kind of like question answers, so you guys can kind of get a better idea of it. So again, if this helps, do me a favor, like the video and subscribe to it. If you have any questions, write them down below, and I'll try my best to get back to you as soon as I can. Fly safe, guys.